Surprise! I have a disorder.
Say baby I love you. Say baby I love you. Baby I love you.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Mental Health Day and I felt like sharing something with you that I'm going through myself, which is quite like nerve-wracking because it's still like quite embarrassing for me, but I feel like I want my channel to be more than just like fashion and stuff. Like I want to actually help people, so hopefully sharing this like helps somebody. So yeah, like I've been putting this off for a long time, but then obviously like I realised that it is World Mental Health Day today and last week was, I don't know how to pronounce it, it was Trich. I'm gonna say Trich because that's what the word is for short, or the short way of saying it. It was Trich Awareness Week, so it feels like the perfect time to share it, even though I don't feel ready. I'm just doing it. So yeah, so I don't know how to start. So yeah, like there are only maybe 3 or 4 people in my life that actually know this, but I have something called, let me get it because I literally don't know how to say it. It is called, and this is going to be the only time I say this, Trichotillomania, which again, like I said, is known as Trich, so I'm going to refer to it as Trich because it's easier to say, and it is a disorder where you can, let me just read the description because I know what it is, but this is from the Mayo Clinic. I'll put it like in the description bar. So Trich is a hair pulling disorder, a mental disorder that involves recurrent irresistible urges to pull out hair from your scalp, eyebrows or other areas of your body despite trying to stop. So in short, I have something that makes me want to pull my hair out all the time. So like when I first developed this, I think I was in university, and I didn't really know what it was, and I did a bit of research and there wasn't really much out there. Like I looked for YouTube videos, but there wasn't a lot of people that were talking about it. Now there's more people talking about it, but there's still, I haven't found anyone that I can kind of relate to that is going through it the way that I'm going through it, if that makes sense. So hence why I'm doing this video. So it's normally, well, they say that it comes about from like traumatic experiences or like negative things that you go through and stuff. And growing up I went through quite a lot of things. Like I'm comfortable saying this because I feel like a majority of people that know me know this already, so it's kind of fine. But yeah, like when I was in year 6, my biological dad was murdered, and at the time I don't feel like I mourned as like a normal person would mourn, kind of thing. Like I didn't cry, I was sad, but I don't feel like I dealt with it, kind of thing, until like maybe a few years later. I think that's when it hit me. And I think one of the things that kind of drilled it home was kind of like the fact that I picked up a newspaper like near my house, and there was an article about how he died and all that kind of stuff, and having to read that as a child, I feel like it's a bit much. So like yeah, there's like the good thing about that, well, I like to think of positive things in negative situations, but the good thing about that is that I grew up also with my stepdad, who is basically my dad. Like I would never say this is my stepdad, like he's my dad. And I feel like very privileged to have somebody that was willing to like take me from a very young age like as his own. So yeah, like I feel fortunate to have been brought up by him, which I think also helped the process a lot more. But like I said, like I don't feel like I dealt with it. As a person, I don't feel like I deal with things very well anyway. I don't like showing my emotions. Like, by the way, I sound like this because I have a cold. So, sorry about that. But yeah, I hate talking about my emotions. Like, I don't like crying in general. Like, obviously I do cry, but I feel like I always have to be strong. And I think one of my coping mechanisms in life has been that somebody out there in the world is going through worse. So I felt like I wasn't allowed to be upset about certain things. So like, for example, with my dad's situation, like at the time when it was all happening, I felt like, okay, you lost a parent, but somebody's out there that has no parents, so get over it, kind of thing. And I feel like I was always very harsh on myself not to dwell in things and not to be upset about things when really I needed to be upset, if that makes sense. And there's been like other things that I don't feel like sharing right now that I've been through, but I feel like they've all kind of contributed to how this thing has kind of developed. So going back to Trich, it's like I said, it's a hair pulling disorder. So I get urges to pull out my hair, obviously, and I can't stop. Like, it's not all the time. It's mostly when I'm stressed, or if I'm tired, or if I'm really like anxious about something, or nervous, or sometimes even when I'm bored. Like, I will feel, it's like it's like, I'm trying to explain it, it's like I don't have to feel it with my hands, if that makes sense. Like, I can feel that there's hair somewhere where I don't want it to be, if that makes any sense. And then I will feel like I need to get it out. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. And it's like, I will not feel comfortable, or I will not be able to like relax until I have pulled it out. And it's not just one hair, so it will be a section that I will pull from, and it can last anywhere between like a couple of minutes to hours. And like, it's made me late. Like, I'm generally a late person anyway, but this thing has made me late, like hours late, because I will be ready and then I'll feel like, oh, I have the urge to pull, and then I'll go to the toilet and I'll be in front of the mirror just pulling. And then by the time I look at the time, like hours passed, and I'm like, oh, damn it, I'm late. But yeah, like, so I feel like I'm going off. I don't know what I was saying. So yeah, so when I'm stressed, tired, anxious, that kind of stuff, that's when it happens. I like sidetrack, but it kind of like fits in. I have something called PCOS as well, which quite a lot of people have, well, I think like maybe 1 in 5 women, which is basically another word that I can't say, polycystic ovaries, where I don't have as many female hormones, or I have too many male hormones, whatever. One of the symptoms of that is hair growth in places where a lady shouldn't be getting hair. So I'm hairier than most women. So yeah, I grow hair in places that I shouldn't freaking get hair. Like, I get what I call Ashanti sideburns. Like, I was hairy anyway, like as a person, like, so with the PCOS on top, it's like double freaking hairy. So my sideburns can get very thick. Like, this is thick, but it's not anywhere near what it could be. Like, my sideburns can grow like down. I get a moustache, which I know like a lot of girls have moustaches, but like I can get a moustache, like a proper one. And I get chin hair, so I can grow a bed to my knees if I wanted to. Not joking, I can't, but I get a lot of like facial hair. My arms are quite hairy, like they're not super hairy, but they're hairy. My legs, if I leave them, it's like a carpet. Like, I get hairy, guys. So that kind of ties into this trick thing, because I'm obviously producing more hair, so then I have more urges to pull it out. Places that I pull from are my eyebrows, and it's funny because like I always make things up to like my friends and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I was plucking my eyebrows, like trying to shape them, and I made a mistake, so I had to shave my eyebrows off. And in reality, like, I didn't have to shave my eyebrows off. Like, I sat there intentionally pulling my eyebrows out because I was either tired or stressed or whatever. Like, I just sat there and pulled them out. So thank God for makeup, because like I have eyebrows now, like, but they're not super thick, or they're not as thick as they should be, because I recently pulled them out, which is annoying, but nobody knows. Like, I also pull from my eyelashes, and again, like, it's weird because sometimes I feel like, do people notice, or like, am I just, what's the word, am I like, what is that word? It means for eye. Am I ignorant? I don't know if that's the right word, but like, do I just think people can't see? Like, sometimes I think that. But I remember I went to get my eyelashes done by some girl. She was like, oh, your eyelashes are really gappy. Like, there's a lot of like bald spaces. And I was like, okay, thank you, Sherlock. But yeah, like, yeah. I don't really pull my moustache, really. I just shave it. But I do pull from my chin, which I think is probably like the biggest area, or the most that I pull from, because whether it's a myth or not, like, the more you pluck, the more your hair grows. So it's like a freaking endless cycle, which is really annoying. Obviously it causes scarring, and I had really bad scarring from it, and this was like a few years ago, and that's when I decided that I actually need to stop. When I did like research and stuff, it says there's no cure, like you're gonna have it forever, but I genuinely don't believe that I'm gonna have it forever. Like, I'm not gonna accept that I have it forever. I have it now, but it will be gone. Like, I'm not keeping it. So yeah, there's people and stuff like that give advice on how to kind of live with it, and like tips on how to deal with it and stuff, but none of them have really worked for me. Like, they give, I can't say stupid because it obviously works for somebody else, but for me it's just like, no. Like, there was a website that I went on that said, oh, just wear a fidget bracelet, and whenever you feel like doing it, play with your bracelet. And I was like, no, because I could just take the bracelet off. Like, it just wouldn't help. Do you know what I mean? But so things that I do, so if you do have Trich, or you know somebody that does, or you have something similar, or something that you are kind of like addicted to doing, it could help, like the things that I do. So one of the things is, so for example, with my eyebrows and eyelashes, I use my hands to pull my hairs out. So one thing that I started doing, I don't do it so much now because I'm a lot better at not pulling from there, but I wear fake nails because I cannot grip them with nails on. They're not like sharp enough. So that is one way of, if you do pull from those areas, or even from your head. Like, I'm so grateful that I do not pull from my head. I'm so grateful, because it took me too long to grow my hair. Like, my hair's at a nice length. I will not ever pull from my head. Obviously different people pull from different places, and I'm like, thank God that my head is not one of those places. But yeah, like I was saying, fake nails have helped me because I can't grip them. At the same time, it does become frustrating, because then when you do have the urge and you can't do it, for me, I will start to now become stressed because I can't get that satisfaction of pulling. So it's like these are all like temporary kind of solutions. Again, like I still have it. I'm still trying to think of ways to eradicate it from my life, but these are things that help me get through it and not do as much. So yeah, fake nails. With eyelashes, wearing eyelashes actually helps, because it's funny, like as much as I can't control it, I can control it, if that makes sense. Like if I wear fake eyelashes, I know I can't pull them off. So and the thing is, I don't wear fake eyelashes that much, but like back in the day, like in uni and stuff, I did quite a bit. Now not so much, just because it's just long to put them on, but I don't really pull too much from my eyelashes, and if I do, it's not that much of a big deal to me because I can just wear fake eyelashes and nobody can know. So it's not super important in that sense, if that makes sense. But again, like I said, wearing eyelashes helps me not to pull from that area. So when it comes to my chin area, this is obviously the area that I struggle with the most, because it's the psychological factor of I feel like I shouldn't be growing hair there, which then makes me want to pull it out even more, on top of the fact that I'm getting urges to pull from the trick. So it's like, it's so much pressure to pull, and it started getting really bad maybe 2 years ago, when it was like an obsession, but it was unhealthy, because I would get satisfaction from pulling, and like girls know, plucking your hair, getting your eyebrows threaded, it hurts, it doesn't feel nice. Like this hurts. So me pulling, even though I'm doing it to myself, it still hurts, but weirdly there's a satisfaction that comes from it as well, which is really strange. Like it's almost like a sense of relief when I pull, kind of thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, so my chin area has been the most problematic. So it started getting bad, like I said, I think after uni, maybe like 3 years ago, can't really remember. But I would pull with tweezers, and I would pull, and sometimes I would bleed because there'd be like ingrown hairs and stuff that I would literally dig to get to, because the urge was so intense that I needed to get those hairs out. And yeah, like it got way too much. Like the scarring that I had was disgusting, to the point I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror, and it was like having an impact on my self-esteem. And yeah, it was a lot. And again, like I said, like all the websites would say there's no cure, like blah blah blah. You can try cognitive therapy, which is something that I haven't tried, but I think I do want to try talking to somebody about it, and maybe seeing how that could help. Some websites were saying like hypnotherapy, and yeah, like I don't know if that would help. But yeah, one thing that has helped, so another tip that I find that has helped me immensely, is laser surgery. So obviously laser hair removal. I started doing it 2 years ago, and I feel like, I don't know, like I feel embarrassed to show you, but I used to have pictures on my phone of the scarring, but I deleted them because that's how sick it used to make me. But the lady that was doing my treatment took a picture on my first ever day, and she put it on Instagram, but obviously I wasn't tagged, so I was fine with it. But like looking back at it now, like it was really bad, and I obviously have the picture. I might put it in, I don't know, it depends. Like if I do, here it is. See how I feel. But yeah, so it was very, very bad. It was very bumpy, it was very like scabby from where I used to do it so much. But literally after like 2-3 sessions, the scars began to fade, and obviously the hairs were not growing back as frequently, and I wasn't feeling the urge to pull them because there was nothing there to pull. So for me, that's been the biggest thing that has helped me. Obviously some people pull from like their head, so they wouldn't want to do that to the head, because obviously you want hair there. But if you're pulling from somewhere where you don't necessarily need your hair to be, then my biggest thing I would say is laser. It's helped me so much, like crazy amounts. Like it's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Yeah, if this video has helped you, or you're going through, you have Trich yourself, or you know somebody that does, or it's just like taught you something, then please let me know, or ask me like other questions that maybe I haven't talked about, because there's a lot more to it that I think maybe I haven't covered. But or even share, if you are going through this, like what helps you, because it might help me as well. But yeah, like I hope that it has helped somebody, because this is freaking embarrassing, like damn. But it's like I feel like I have to do it at one point, so I might as well just get it over with and just do it now, which is why I'm doing it now. So surprise, I have a disorder. Sorry, it's not funny. It's funny, like it's not the end of the world, like it's whatever, innit? But yeah, I hope it helps. I really hope it helps. If it didn't help, I'm gonna be upset, because then I've just done this for no reason. Like this video, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Fashion videos, darling, they're coming back. Oh, actually, like if you feel like these kind of videos you would like to see more, because I feel like I have a lot to say about things, like important things, or like mentally things, or I don't know how to say that properly, or like actual like deeper things, not just like, I don't just want to inspire people by the way that they dress, or by the way that I dress and stuff. Like I have, like I said, I have been through a lot of things in my life that people don't know, but I feel like I could have a lot of good advice for people that are also going through things. So if you feel like I should do like maybe like bi-weekly videos on advice on stuff, then let me know. If not, then don't let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I really hope that this has helped at least one person. And yeah, I'm going back to bed. Got cold.